What's up, guys? Welcome back from the MLG Studios here in New York City. I'm Axel Toss, joined by Axlab. Second match of the night. It's good to be casting again, to be honest.
Yes.
I'm happy.
Well, for me, I haven't taken a break, but
you don't take breaks.
It's been amazing.
You're a machine.
It's been nice to have you back. I did enjoy last week, but it's nice to have you back as well. So game two.
Game two.
Between these two fine general, and Major is ready. He's ready to get at it.
Xenocider, he set a bunch of goes a little bit. Okay, there we go.
Oh, that's a lot of goes.
He's ready. I think they're ready, so I'm going to start game.
That's about 15 goes.
There's a lot.
Maybe. Well, he keeps going. Now he's up to about 50 goes.
What's the idea behind this? Because a lot of pro players do this. Is that just like
It's intimidation. You show your opponent how fast your hands are. Like, I can type this fast.
And they're like, oh gosh. They're trying to read it all.
You know what would have been more intimidating though, if he spelled every go correctly, because there was some OGs and not.
No,
GOs
I think he was saying like good luck too.
Oh, okay.
And GG. So that kind of covers his bases, so he doesn't really have to worry about what he's typing, because he can always say, "Oh, I was trying to type GG."
But what if it's an OG?
Yeah, I don't know what that would mean. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So Nick, who are our two players on Neoplanet S?
Over here at the top right, the man who had a great contain, then ended up breaking it himself. We have Quantic Xenocider.
You know where Xenocider comes from?
Ender's Game. Well, not Ender's, the one after Ender's Game. It's called. There's actually the second book's called Xenocide.
I thought the second book was Ender's Shadow.
Oh, what? You're right. One of the books is called Xenocide. You're right. Ender's Shadow's second. The book that's next that covers Ender's story is called Xenocide.
Just like I know there's like Shadow of the Hegemon too.
Those are all ones that cover people other than Ender.
Got it.
Xenocide is the second book in the series that just covers Ender.
Right.
Anyway, so his opponent, the man who had a contain and had patience to sit on it until he won the game. We have 8th Team's Major.
League Gaming.
But yeah, Xenocide referred to it's what they called Ender because he killed an entire race.
You see, I read the second. I know what book you're talking about. I read the second book, like when I was very young, like 12. There's so many big words in that thing, man.
A lot of big words.
Xenocider was one of those that I just skimmed over and never really understood what it meant. So that's my childhood story of the day.
Yeah.
But I would suggest you guys, if you're looking for books, Nick, you have a book club. You have a Team Liquid blog there.
I do.
Okay, never mind.
I should.
You should make one.
I used to do a lot of reading.
Yeah.
Now I pretty much only read when I travel, just for time reasons.
We read every day. We read the names of the players.
You're right. You're right.
We read the kills and the structures. And we read the map names. You see?
You know, and the map names can be complex.
Yes.
There's some crazy map names out there.
And there's stories behind all of them, and lore and stuff.
This is right.
Like Neoplanet S is actually it was an isolated terrain on Ire, where
Really?
the last stand of Zeratol when he was facing off against Kerrigan. And I remember it happened in that cave. That cave is actually right. Where is it? It's right here.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So.
That's actually some StarCraft lore I didn't know.
I just made that.
Okay.
So.
I mean, the Protoss last stand of Ire, I don't think Zeratul was even there.
Yeah.
That was Tassadar.
If I was Clutch, I could probably sell that a little bit. If I was Clutch, I'd probably know it.
You would. So you wouldn't have to make up a story.
So yeah. I like making up stories. It's fun. All right. So we see a Reaper opening here. From Major. Neoplanet S is a map that Mech... Oh, what a tricky map, though. I think Mech is definitely doable.
It is. It is. It's still not an ideal mech map. It's not as bad as a Whirlwind. But it also is a little bit of a tricky map to play mech on.
Speaking of tricky...
Xenocide, or Major.
Showing off a little bit.
Some great micro, but he's got to not make sure the Reapers don't get stuck. Xenocider, if he can cut off the... Actually, they're doing so much damage.
The Reapers can kill those 2 Marines.
If they're hurt, maybe.
Oh, are there 3? No, there's 2. Okay, I think they might get trapped now. I don't know about that decision. Go back to south. One goes down.
Oh, and then... yeah. Oh, is he going to get away? The one Reaper lives to tell the tale. It's Corporal, too.
I would, if I was that Marine, I would aim down my sights and try to get that last shot.
Make the long distance shot?
Yeah.
There should be an ability where if the Marine stands still for like 2 seconds, he gets an extra range.
Wait, you're talking about adding an ability to the Marine? Let's think about that for a second.
Marines aren't quite useful enough.
That's awesome. All right.
So
was that?
That was very successful.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to. It wasn't only that he lost one Reaper and killed a good amount of stuff. Not game-ending stuff, but a good amount of stuff. And also, he doesn't have to use that scan he did last game, because he knows exactly what's going on. He saw the starport, the factory with the reactor, he saw the barracks, he saw the command center, or now it's an orbital, but he literally saw pretty much everything.
Yeah. I mean, seeing the command center alone is pretty huge. You can know your opponent's not rushing out for tech. You can be a little bit greedier with your
And now you can see the add-on allocation with the second scout. That's always
that tech
nice.
lab. That could be donated to the starport.
It could be. It could be fast them. It could be. It looks like it is going to go into starport, but Major doesn't know that for sure. I mean, it's something he has to keep in mind. Actually, it looks like it's going to go into the factory, so straight into tank play. And a fast third CC by Xenocider. Nice. Oh, Major's sending an attack here, and Xenocider has just a single Widow Mine. As long as he lifts his wall in time, he should be okay to survive until the tank comes out.
Look at that, splitting off the Hellion.
Major learned from Askin.
That poor Hellion, though. He's going to scan and kill it.
He really doesn't like the Widow Mine.
Well, it just killed his
friend. But meanwhile, though, the drop from Xenocider takes out a nice clutch of SCVs.
3 kills on that Hellion. Plenty of Marines here as well, so counter-aggression happening, and Major trying to pop out some units to deal with this. Meanwhile, attacking his opponent's wall, targeting down that supply depot.
I don't think he's going to do too much. It tanks out, the Marines are out. He might kill the one depot, but there's enough units out he can't get in there. He's losing a lot of units trying to make this happen.
Yeah, he wants to eventually go straight for the middle, and if he can get a nice line of SCVs, it's definitely going to be worth it. But is Xenocider going to let that happen, trying to get a volley off?
Oh, yeah, I don't think they can get back there. A great defense by Xenocider, and I think he's going to pull ahead from that. I mean,
let's look at stuff.
Oh, look how Major's killing the Widow Mine. That was nifty. Not one uses scan. And you know, Widow Mines are light, so the Hellions do extra damage to them.
What a brave Viking. Like, alright guys, yeah, shoot me with your flamethrowers. It's fine.
Viking doesn't care, man. No. He's confident that Major will repair him. Perhaps that is misplaced confidence that he's still waiting by the SCVs for repair.
At least he's in the air now. It's not like Major left him in submission on the ground.
Yeah, he still does. Maybe the SCVs don't know they can repair the air Viking, or maybe they just don't care.
Very true. Well, the Viking, its utilities right now aren't going to be huge. So.
No, it's more just. I mean, they'll hang out there and defend a drop potentially later on. Xenocider last game he showed a love of drops. Yes. Perhaps too much, because I definitely think that maybe ended up, biting him a bit. Major is going mech this game, by the way. So, Whirlwind, there's like a line. There's like the mech player, how much do they love mech, and where are they going to draw that line on maps?
Right.
Are they going to do mech on? It looks like Major is going to say, okay, if he's going to do a Neoplanet S.
Whirlwind, but I'll do it on Neoplanet.
Yeah, which means he'll probably do it on every other map besides Whirlwind, at least in a WCS map pool.
Yeah.
Of course, GSL.
Star Station.
Oh, you're right. Star Station maybe not either. I forgot about that one. That one is.
I didn't see their veto, so I don't know what the third map would potentially be.
Major probably vetoed Star Station. Come to think of it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another drop play coming from Xenocider. Major with the Hellion drop as well.
Yeah, no turrets here from Major. He's going to be sprinting into that middle lane, going to target down a supply depot. The Hellion's going to try to find some SCVs there in Xenocider's base. But Major's going to clean up those Hellions. Meanwhile, can Xenocider clean up Major's Hellions? Yes, he will.
Neither drop being particularly effective.
Still a pretty even
although
game.
One Marine is actually going to work on Major's mirror line here. It's just SCVs get pissed off. Oh, and there was another drop in Major's main. I don't think it did anything, though. Major seemed to be over the fence. Xenocider really loves his drop play.
Yeah. It's cool. I like it.
It looks to be a fairly even game. Of course, what's going to happen is, as Major builds up the mech army, the real danger zone is when he moves out to take a fourth base here, because then he gets very spread out. Even a third base is usually pretty defendable without too much of a hard time. But the 4th base on Neoplanet S can be difficult to take with mech against a very mobile opponent. He's moving out now with the Helling Squad. Of course, Xenocider's stim is relatively late. He's prioritizing the upgrades before stim, which is better for the later mid-game. But it means for the next 1 to 2 minutes, Major will really have map control with the Hellings.
Oh, Hellions.
Unless they all die.
Yeah, sacrifice themselves a little bit. You know, Neoplanet is interesting because there's not a lot of airspace. So you could potentially set up a cluster of turrets, like just outside your 3rd, just behind your natural, and you're going to be safe. Your main's going to be safe. And it's a smaller map, so you don't need as many sensor towers to see what's up. So we'll have to see if Major tries to take advantage of that.
I love his barracks positioning over there at the bottom of the map, keeping an eye on that bottom lane. Barracks is trying to chase down that medevac.
I don't know if he saw it.
Yeah. Not a very fair race in any standard.
Well, the medevac definitely knew something was up.
And
so
the barracks is more portly. You know, it takes a little...
You be careful. Don't be offensive.
Portly's a nice term.
Well, barracks have feelings too.
Yeah.
It's a big bone.
Oh, the Helling's trying to go in. Oh, Major sending 1 Helling ahead.
Alright, going up into that 3rd base. There are Marines and Marauders there, and a bunker is finished, but some SCV's going down.
Some SCVs are going down, but I don't think we'll get as many kills as he'd like.
Oh, first shot.
And that last shot almost made it pay off.
14-14, workers killed. 67 to 59 in favor of Major. Major getting that 3rd base a little bit faster. And at least that 3rd base not being harassed as much, I should say.
Yes.
So, like, no loss of mining time.
For Xenocider, now his stim is done. Now he's going to go into harass again. Early on using the Helling drops and stuff, but Marine Marauder drops aren't really too effective until he gets stim packed. It's pretty hard. You can't run down SCVs without stim. They can just run away, and you don't have the damage output to do too much damage. So now Xenocider is going to be looking to put on some aggression. He also has great upgrades. Major was 0-0 on the mech right now, just starting the first attack upgrade. And Xenocider already halfway to 2-2. Oh, he's going to drop straight on top of the tanks.
Can they get any kills? There's 2 Hellbats down there as well. The Vikings are going to take care of the medevacs.
Oh, picking it back in the medevac when there's...
That was 6 Vikings. 5 Vikings.
It was interesting, all the bio calls for help from the medevac, and there's 4 Vikings there.
It's catch-22, man.
Yeah,
you stay on the ground and get killed by tanks, or get picked up by the medevac and get killed by Vikings.
Oh, Major sending a little bit of a counter Hellbat drop here.
Ooh, where's that? I want to watch.
Going down the middle.
Oh, okay.
Going down the middle. I mean, we'll see if it kicks into gear in a little bit. Oh, it might be caught by the next...
Oh, they stopped.
No, it's going to just... Oh, the bow's running away, and it's still not spotted. There's a... Oh, this can do so much damage.
Hellbats dropped in that 3rd base, targeting down those SCVs.
A good reaction, though.
Just now. Oh, yes, some Marines there.
Yeah. They popped out of the bunker. You actually pulled the SCVs pretty quickly. I mean, you didn't lose too much, and you killed the last 5 more workers there. And for killing the medevac and 2 Hellbats, I don't think he's going to be unhappy about that. Both players building the 4th command center, but Xenocider should be able to set up the 4th base faster, just because it's a little bit harder to spread your army out as mech.
Now, how many tanks does Major have? Major's up to 9 tanks, but the key count here is going to be the Hellbats. 13 Hellbats. And I know you like Hellbats.
I do love Hellbats. One of the secrets to playing mech is how effective you can make them. Because typically, what you do is you trade Hellbats for positioning, because they buy your tanks time to siege up. But then how valuable is that position you gained while the Hellbats bought time, versus how many do you lose trying to buy that time to get the siege tanks to siege up? And also, of course, Hellbat drops, so you can play a role as well.
Yeah, and that's something you can do like throughout the entire game. Very hard to stop those unless you really get the the static D in place. Make sure you have some units behind to deal with those. You're very fast in pulling those SCVs.
Xenocider really splitting up his army into 2 into the top, top left, and bottom right.
Yeah, one in the bottom, one in the middle, and then one in the top. Yeah. And Major's all together with his army. He's going to siege up at that 3rd base. Extending forward, the Hellbats trying to march up in there. Meanwhile, we have some units scurrying into the 3rd base of Major. Looks like that's getting cleaned up quite quickly.
Oh man, he just went right over the missile turret. Tanks are shelling this. This drop did not do what he wanted it to do. Oh, but he's going right into the main.
Oh.
Major, no turrets in the main. 2 siege tanks coming back. Actually, Major should clean this up, only losing a few depots. So overall, great defense by Major so far.
Xenocider looking like he's either trying to cut off reinforcements or he's trying to set up a flank. Has a lot of Marines and Marauders on the left-hand side here. And thinking about going forward, actually going to step up towards that 3rd, trying to defend that location, taking down some tanks. But once those Hellbats leave, what's to stop the Bio from sweeping in there and taking down those tanks?
I mean, if there's enough in siege mode, that might work, but now he's coming in for the flank. Point defense drone so effective.
Wow, Hellbats singeing away the Marines Marauders. I thought Xenocider had it, but again, the Marauders soaking up the point defense drones soaking up those Marauder shots, and Major's going to be just fine, reinforcing with some more tanks, more Hellbats.
He's got to be careful, though. I don't think he wants to walk into his tank line. He's taking some heavy hits, actually.
Oh, he's dropping on top with the Hellbats. Great move there from Major. And he's going to completely isolate Xenocider from that oh-so-important third base. Meanwhile, going up to 4 bases behind this in a game where Major, he's up 1-0. He just needs to win one more to advance to the next round.
I mean, I think he's got the sweet spot now where he can almost camp the production of Xenocider. This is a terrible position for Xenocider to be in. Major just needs to be patient. He's unsieged his tanks right when there's all these Marauders out there.
Oh.
Potentially a critical mistake here.
And Xenocider's going to take advantage, taking out 4 tanks for essentially...
Oh man, all Major had to do was wait for the reinforcements on siege.
I'm not sure how much he's worried. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't go up into the third base and really try to shut that down. Because there's still SCVs mining up there.
There are. I mean, I think he wanted to solidify the contain first.
Yeah.
But then why did he unsiege?
Yeah, you gotta keep that there and accomplish the same thing.
Because now he can't send units to that top base, because if he sends anything out there, his container will be broken.
Yeah, he's got to keep sending units across the map, keep reinforcing this contain. But Xenocider is not going to give up without a fight, trying to break out desperately.
I mean, the macro of Major is far ahead enough now. He made us going to brute force Xenocider down, especially with this great Hellbat flank here. But like you said, Xenocider is still fighting as more and more units from Major stop piling in here, even a Thor coming in. Now Major has enough. He could probably send 1 or 2 units up to that top base. And he's even taking the top left base as well.
Xenocider pulling the SCVs. SCVs against Hellbats.
Not, yeah. So SCVs aren't great against Hellbats.
Yeah, they are. Whenever you're making that decision to send the SCVs to attack Hellbats, you're probably not in the best position. But Major taking a 2-0 there.
Great play by Major there, you know. I like what Xenocider was doing. He split his army up in 3 different directions. But the bottom right force that launched a massive counterattack, you know, Major's control in defending that attack was so great.
Yeah.
And I think Xenocider was more concentrated on the top left. He wasn't dropping units on the tanks. He was just dropping them and getting shelled. And when that counterattack failed, then Major's like, okay, I can just, all these units I had defending a counterattack, I can send these all up there. And we saw Xenocider kind of broke that attack at the top. Then all of a sudden this huge wave of Major's reinforcements came, and it just allowed him to set up just this great, you know, basically contain on the production of Xenocider. And from there on out, you know, without that threat of the counter, without the threat of the flank, Xenocider just couldn't keep up, as Xenocider just getting destroyed as quickly as they popped out of these barracks.
And like, if we're looking at this situation right here, Major has like a 5th base, you know, in production. So
Yes.
it's not like he's going for these pushes and he's like, all right, let's try to kill him. No, behind it, he had a command center behind pretty much every single attack. You know, he was attacking his opponent's 3rd, well, 2nd, and 4th. And then that's a really cool display of really good RTS play, really good StarCraft 2 play. And Major takes a 2-0 over Xenocider, and that concludes our 2nd match of the night. We have 4 total. Next up is going to be Phoenix versus Bales. It's going to be a PVT. Again, Theognis 2-0ing Jadong in our first match. And Major taking out Xenocider 2-0. So they'll be advancing on to the next round of the bracket stage. Whereas Jadong and Xenocider will be falling to the group stage of the Challenger League. So guys, stay tuned. We have Phoenix versus Bales coming up.